Awareness under anesthesia, although incredibly rare, is absolutely a thing that can happen. And I don't want to necessarily assume that that's not a possibility in this original patient's story. But because awareness is so incredibly rare, what is much more likely the case when you hear stories like this from people without more context? A lot of the times the issue is that the appropriate expectation wasn't set for the patient. Not all anesthesia is general anesthesia, meaning the patient isn't necessarily 100% unconscious for every surgery. It's very common to do a lot of procedures under a type of anesthesia, an umbrella term we call monitored anesthesia care. And I like to describe it to patients like a dimmer switch. Rather than being a state where you're completely unconscious, monitored anesthesia care means we're going to titrate our sedation to the right level you need to be comfortable and safe during surgery. So if it's not enough sedation to keep you comfortable, we can crank it on up. And if for some reason, for safety reasons, we need to make the anesthesia less deep, we can crank it on down. And I like to tell patients that the most likely scenario is that they're going to remember going into the OR, going to sleep, and they're going to remember waking up in the recovery room. Most people feel like they had time travel or a nap. But there are times when, for safety reasons, we have to lighten the sedation. And during those times, they may hear people talking or have some sort of awareness of what's going on in the room, but they're usually in la-la land and don't care. And again, that would only be if we really needed to for safety and if the patient didn't require a deep level of anesthesia for the procedure, right? We wouldn't do this during a very painful procedure. Typically, some sort of numbing medication has been given to the patient so that they're not really feeling anything sharp or painful, maybe just some pressure at most. So whenever I have a patient tell me that they woke up during surgery, I usually like to investigate and ask what type of surgery and what the circumstances were surrounding waking up, because 99% of the time they were getting a MAC case and someone just didn't set that appropriate expectation for them. So they hear some chatter during surgery, they have some memories, and they think that it was a mistake, when perhaps it was completely appropriate. Now, if you want to learn more about awareness under anesthesia, which is when people are awake when they're not supposed to be, that's a completely different video. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to learn more about it.